episode of
it.
Token Games Podcast. Shut the fuck up. I'm your host and sometimes referee, Zach Stat Pearson, and today I'm joined by the King of the Witches, he who does not have the white hair but is still ballin', a one Witch King.
Everybody, how's it going?
And today, a new face from the dark joins us. He who has no mask, yet knows all the sounds and all the sights that is in the darkness. The original elevator and imitator of Bane, a one Triple M3, aka TM3. Now, TM3, since you're new, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
CM3 is no more. Only Batman is here today. Me, not Batman. Bane! Bane is here. I want Batman. All this talk about podcast. So I can't keep this going forever. My name's TM3.
Eventually.
Well, listen. I gotta make my own self laugh at a certain point. But more or less, I'm simple. I just like to keep the vibe. I make music and life goes on. Nothing too complicated.
Hey, as long as it makes you happy and you're not out there doing some psychopathic fucked up shit.
Pretty much. Also, I'm 420 friendly.
Well, we don't have any aversions to that on the channel per se. I'm indifferent, completely indifferent.
I have no comment.
No comment.
Well,
No comment.
He's still in the military, but then again, I'm getting ready to go back in, so I guess technically I have no comment too. Anyways.
No comment.
All right.
Me over here cough melons up.
All right, so this week's this month's, I guess, live story will be about adventures in being a mentor. Now, I know what you're thinking, Witch King, shut the fuck up. Why and at what point in time in your life would you be a mentor? Shut the fuck up before I hit the mute button. And basically, for the uninitiated, because it never comes up in conversation, unless somebody sees an old gi laying around where I'm at or something. Your boy nice with them hands, and them feet, and them elbows, and them knees, and I'm really good at, for lack of a better term, teaching people.
This is just getting worse and worse.
I'm really good at teaching people
honestly,
how to clap those cheeks. Specifically,
like the more and more appendages I hear is legs. You're going what? Show me, but not on me.
I'm referring to self-defense, jackass.
just gotta open the window over here, turn on a fan. Zach, tell me about those elbows.
Yeah, tell me about those fucking elbows.
You ever just see someone who didn't realize they were on mute? Anyways, so yeah, I got really, really proficient. Let's just say that. So by the time I was 12 in specifically Mandarin style Kung Fu, I was technically I had the opportunity to go into the adult classes because I essentially graduated. Now, everyone knows when you finish a martial art, you're never truly finished. What happens is you've learned all the basics and all of the fundamentals when you get to whatever's considered black, because different arts do different things. And I really wish everyone wouldn't just do this thing where they assume we work with some karate system, but
is that karate?
yeah, they would just say it like a reflex. I swear to God. So there are even arts that have come over to North America didn't even have a system like that, and they will adapt it because, well, I mean, it's like a you can't beat them, join them mentality. So I got to the equivalent of a black in Mandarin style Kung Fu. And no, I don't know how it's different from any other style of Kung Fu or what the Mandarin part has to do with it. Maybe it was Mandarin just because my teacher was Mandarin or born near that area, if that is an area, and spoke Mandarin. I don't know. I just know it was labeled Mandarin style, and then the word Kung Fu followed it. So, at that point in time, I was given options. And even though I wasn't allowed to be an instructor until I reached the minimum age of 16, my level equivalency matched my teacher. Now there's nothing wrong with that. It's still common for people to do that, but they couldn't put me in a children's class because I beat everybody's ass. Literally, I had beat everyone's ass at some point in time.
Man went to a tournament of power as a kid, just beat up all his teammates like you were all weak to me.
Well, I'm not jeering, goddammit. I'm not an asshole. Everyone still
I
liked me, and I was like crying a little bit because I thought I was in trouble. Like, you telling me I can't come hang out with my friends and stuff no more, man?
so
I
you're too
felt bad.
strong for the weaklings.
Because you keep beating them up.
No, it's
Yeah.
because they train people with similar belts or one up and one under. It's a very common rule in most dojos. You do a belt proximity when you do any form of basic training. However, the next kid under me was more than 4 leagues or ranks below me. And even though there is a contact sparring, there's free sparring, and then there's I don't know if there's a correct term for it, but I call it managed sparring, where the point of the sparring match is literally just for the instructors to gauge your skill and your talent, and also just your mental state on some level. They wasn't gonna do that because as much as they like me, you know, when it came to any form of that self-defense shit, everybody started getting a little bit scared, or at least in my age bracket. So they tried lumping me with students that were, you know, older than me, but they were still under me, and I beat their ass, the non-adult ones. Hey, I wasn't super fat, but I was a heavy ass 12-year-old.
This is your coming of age. Like, this is how I became the god of my anime. They gave me weaker but stronger opponents, but they couldn't handle
I'm not
it.
even offended that you said it. I just honestly thought a statement like that was going to come out of Witch King's mouth. Moving on.
I think you just have both of us on more often. This is kind of simple story of this at this point.
Well, bro,
Yeah.
he just got here. It's not like I'd say no if he showed up. So what ends up happening is I leave the dojo because, well, I mean, I wouldn't say I wasn't supposed to be there, but I didn't know if I was going to get in trouble with my parents because they didn't know I was going. So I'm sure y'all know what the YMCA is, but
Go to the YMCA.
yes, that place.
No,
But here's the thing, though. This
no.
wasn't in the YMCA.
YMCA.
Shut up. He wasn't in the YMCA, or then this wasn't regulated by the YMCA per se. No pun intended. The guy who ran it, the instructor, or the co-instructor, and also the owner of the land the building was on. He was giving out free flyers, and he was explaining it because he was allowed to in some special like introduction in YMCA, and he had a raffle, and the raffle stated that, you know, one person can receive what was it, like 400 lessons for free, just something ridiculous, and it was just a promotion, and also to get his name spread out there. Hey, that shit worked, but I was that lucky person. I was number 210.
Okay.
So that's how I even got it in the first place. I thought I was about to win some candy or some shit, cause I'm like 9 or maybe 10 when I come through this. Most students,
shit, I won. So where's my jawbreakers at?
basically. Oh yeah, we're gonna teach you how to break some jaws. That's what we gonna do. But
like what? What's up, mom?
so what ends up happening over time is that I was basically going maybe 3 times a week, not necessarily in secret, but I was just going 3 times a week till I was about 14. And in the summer, you know, sometimes I'd only go 1 day, but I would be there like half the day. And I kept trying to like bug them. Give me a summer job. Give me a summer job. Give me a summer job. You know, just like annoying you, not a tween. You're not a tween anymore, but you're not a cool teenager yet. I was just like, give me a job. Give me a summer job. And eventually, you know, they didn't. But they referred to...
That's some strong willpower.
But when I hit like 15 or 16, when they started explaining the law and how, you know, children working works, they referred me over to a woman's self-defense class because their instructors, they had 5 instructors and 3 of them had moved out of the state, so they needed to have replacements, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the replacements, you know, they take time to find good ones, or you want them to have certain knowledge and skills, because there's a difference between teaching somebody to defend themselves and specifically catering it towards women of different age groups and athletic abilities. It's a different beast. It's like the difference between driving a car and driving a jet. You're still in a vehicle, but they're completely different beasts. So what ends up happening is they hear what my instructor told them, because apparently he had called them up the day before I got there, or was supposed to go there for a meeting, and I was like, oh boy, I finally get to get a job. Give me that money. And I'm all happy and shit, and I'm trying to hide it, not look like I'm immature, because if there's one thing I learned about working or doing anything around, and you're going to be surrounded by adults, they don't care how much you like what you're doing. They don't care how happy you are. They don't care if you're not even doing nothing bad. If you're happy all the fucking time, they'll be mad at you just for that shit. But I was just like, yes, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Like, just not being a human being, being this whatever.
If you didn't have emotion, they couldn't yell at you for not having anything.
Yes, essentially. So, and this dude's name is Richard Grayson. So
Must be related to Dick Grayson.
well, I mean, well, now I can't make that pun, but yeah, his name, he probably didn't get the name from Nightwing, but it was just a coincidence that his name was Dick Grayson. Like, what can you do?
I mean, you never know. He was adopted as a son. He was an orphan, so you.
Well, I was tempted to ask some question like that, but remember, I'm trying not to look like an immature little jackass, and it would be kind of weird if I say, "Hey, didn't your parents die at a circus?" Like that would be kind of weird.
He's like, you know what? Yes, he just runs away.
Yeah. So, he has this long interview process with me. Then he brings out this, for lack of a better term, pretty boy. It was like, oh hey, yeah, you're gonna fight. And then he snaps his fingers and he says, Jerry, you're gonna fight. Yeah, I'm gonna have you fight with Jerry. Would you prefer strikes or falls? Like, we can do both. I don't care. It's gonna end the same way. The look of just shock on this man's face, and also, damn, the arrogance I had at the time. And he was like, oh, really? And Jerry's like, let me go get your armor for you. So they had some different training mechanics. So you have to wear chest armor for them. And this is back when chest armor first started getting cheap. And no, I don't mean like Kevlar bulletproof bullshit suits or that. I meant like traditional
like foam pads, right?
What?
Just like foam pads?
Hell fucking no, man. I wish someone would come up with foam pads. I would beat them with the phone. So, hey, M03, go to push to talk. So, essentially, I could see that this Jerry person has this smile on the face, but I knew he was like, it was one of those, oh, I'm gonna enjoy fucking you up because you're a little bit too arrogant, and I stomped Jerry 3 fucking times in a row. And Jerry has this look on his face, and he's just fully covered in red, looks back at Richard and says, he's actually good. So I was like, so I can work here? And Richard goes, boy, why did you say it like that? Like, yeah, sorry, my bad. Okay, look, there's going to be some differences you need to learn. I know you were temporarily a child instructor, but last I heard that was only 10-ish days. Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't suck at it, but they wanted to test it out as a trial, but apparently the parents weren't comfortable with the child instructor when they were paying the adults, and that was the end of it. I was like, oh, okay, well, hey, that's not your fault. Some people feel how they feel. Now, that being said, come here tomorrow. I'm gonna spend 3 days basically getting you to understand what the students are like. And also, a lot of these females come with their children during the summer. So you may be able to, pick up a double shift or just get a little bit more money. It's like, oh boy. And he tells me, hey, I want you to try out training 3 people after those 3 days were over. He wanted 3 females, and then the other one, and then what was it? On the second day, 3 children of the females. So it was on, off, on, off, on, off. Some of the kids were male, which was I don't know, a little bit weird because it was called women's self-defense class. I don't want to go to school when someone say, hey, what'd you do for summer? Oh, I went to a women's self-defense class if I'm a dude, but I don't know. Anyways, so.
All I can think of right now is Bobby Hill.
Pretty much.
That's not my purse. I don't know you.
Dude, there was a guy at C2E2 that looked so much like fucking Bobby, it was disturbing. I took a picture of him and everything. He even had a cutout of Hank Hill with him.
Why? Why is he encouraging this?
Anyways, so it was on off for 2 weeks. So then he said, hey, listen, I know I switched the kids on you, but you kept the same females. Okay, they're comfortable with being instruction from you. I was like, okay, cool. But, and I just go, okay, don't make that noise in front of me, please. Please don't make that noise in front of me. He's a nice guy, but just the way he said it was just weird. And that was exactly how he said it. And I was like, okay. And he tells me kind of what I should have seen coming. So the females aren't comfortable with paying adults to teach them, and then here you come being an instructor. They actually didn't know you were 15. We weren't gonna tell them, but now that they know, I'm sorry. It's like, oh, well, what about the other ones? Well, yeah, but we don't separate them. We do all the females in a group. So you're gonna have to be a child instructor, but we're gonna give you this. Now, this was basically just, I don't know, to make my feelings less hurt, because now I've been rejected as an instructor twice, not because I'm bad at it, but because I'm just not 18, right? So they gave me this badge that let the children know that I was an authority. Did it boost my confidence? Hell nah. Giving me a gold star on an F plus doesn't mean that I'm happy with the F plus. So I basically tell them, I was like, okay, well, look, how many kids do you have? I was like, oh, you're going to be training all of them. I was like, oh, how many? It's 15. 15? Is that going to be a problem for you? I was like, Mr. I can handle anything. It's like, no. So now my ego kicked back in because, well, this isn't grown man me. This is, if you do it just the right way, even if I don't have a weakness, you can put one in me, and then I gotta fucking get rid of it if I even find it. So, I felt like my ego was being challenged when he said, I was like, train 20 of them. It was like, and I went in and I trained them. And then there's always one. In this case, it was like 6, but we gonna focus on 2 particular idiots. They're different kinds of idiots, but they're still idiots. Well, they're probably adults right now. No, they're definitely adults right now. So I'm gonna actually use their real ass names. Right? Bobby and Tony. Different flavors of idiot. Bobby is a fat ass who genuinely was killing himself with food, and he needed something to do that would keep him away from food until his parents can find the right psychologist or pills to get him to not kill himself with food.
Called put down the fork.
For those who in the audience may be thinking I'm just making fun of fat people or fat shaming, no. Listen to the words. Bobby was killing himself with food. He was morbidly obese at, what was that motherfucker? 13? At 13, he weighs 20 pounds more than I do as a grown man, and I'm 220. The boy was killing himself with food. His parents were worried. They was considering doing that Oprah shit, like actually putting a chain and lock around the fucking refrigerator and not having no snacks in the house. He was literally a problem. He had an eating addiction, not a disorder, an addiction, which is way worse. Or at least the death is more gruesome.
I mean, the addiction probably has a disorder with it, so it's a 2-for-1 on that one.
Exactly. And, it's the summer. He passed everything in school. So, hey, I'm not mad at them. he was mad at them for a little while. And every time he started whining about it, I would just yell, shut the hell up, because I got to yell at kids that were stupid and dumber and younger than me. I'm not a bully, but that was fun. So, and then there was, of course, Tony. Tony is one of those people who just thought he was the shit, but he was just plain old shit. He's that guy, when he sees a girl that he could probably get, he ruins it by lying to her about how cool he is. He's that guy. So, essentially, he's Trump, but a more flamboyant Trump. He was already pretty. I would stick him in the back of the class so all the girls would stop staring at the back of his head and, you know, accidentally hitting each other or fucking up or just not paying attention. But he would fuck it up. He is not a deal closer, as the kids would say. So, at one point, we get to polearm practice. Now, with polearm practice, I can't teach them how I would like to teach them. Because here's the thing. What I teach is Mandarin style Kung Fu polearm technique. What they need to learn is keep away from me till I can get to a phone or try to go for critical spots. And if they grab the weapon, potentially use it as a way to drop kick them or mule kick them to keep them from taking full grasp of the weapon. Basically, I'm teaching them to not lose grasp of the weapon or to not make it work in their enemy's favor and to go for critical weak spots. So one day, I'll never forget it. I tell everybody, okay, this is what's going to happen. Instead of being about 4 feet away from each other from the side and 6 feet away from each other in the back, everybody is going to be 12 by 12. We about to take up this whole ass gymnasium and nobody's going to hit me with that stick. But what if it's an accident? Tony, if it's an accident, you specifically are going to do my favorite foot rolls. You're going to do foot rolls from one end of the gym to the other the long way. Is that horizontal or vertical? Shut the fuck up, Tony.
Whichever way's longer.
Bro, and everyone in the room was laughing. I just told him shut up for his own embarrassment.
Ooh, make him do a diagonal. Like the diagonal of the gym. That's the longest part.
I feel like that might have been too complex for him. Anyways, so I was like, okay, now, these sticks have been graciously donated and are lovingly been, you know, restored, blah, 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 blah. None of these are speed sticks. Don't use them like speed sticks. I don't know what they call them nowadays or tournament sticks, but there's 2 types of martial arts staff. There's I'm trying to look cool to win at a competition, and there's this thing's job is to beat someone's ass. We weren't using competition sticks. We're using somebody can beat each other, somebody can crack a skull with these. That's what we were using. And there was like a barrel of them. I brought out the barrel, and shit, that barrel was like damn near my full body weight. Kids thought it was fucking hilarious watching me try to bring it. Hey, Mr. Pearson, be careful. You got a stick near your face. Hey, you got a stick on his face. It's like, y'all know the minute I'm fucking done, I'm gonna just fuck you up later. So why even tempt fate? If I wouldn't take shit from a 15-year-old, why would I take it from a 9-year-old? Moving on. So, the last 2 people to get the sticks, guess who? Tony and fucking Bobby. Shit, what's his name, Bobby? I don't know, but he gonna be Bobby for this story. So I got an empty barrel, and yes, it's an actual barrel. But it's like rubber. It looks like a wooden barrel, but it's actually all like rubber. I don't know where they found it. It's pretty light when you don't have a bunch of sticks in it. So I'm walking backwards to the front of the class. Okay, children, first things first. Do not stick these things straight out or swing them, because even though you're all 12 by 12, there's a distinct possibility. Boof. The fuck?
What was that?
Exactly.
What was that noise?
It's an onomatopoeia. Now shut up so I can explain it.
Getting old.
So I look at all the kids and they look at me as like, Did one of y'all do that? And I hear half the class laughing in the corner back row, and then the other half just started laughing, and it went like, you know, in a wave, almost like a clockwise wave. I'm like, hey, what just happened? And they're still laughing. They can't explain it. They start pointing. Bobby and Tony actually knocked each other the fuck out in like less than 5 seconds. Like, they weren't even trying to hit each other. They were literally doing something, hit each other in the face hard enough to where they both went unconscious. Right? So then Richard comes out of his office. And he looks, and he just goes white. And he runs over to them. And he's like, hey, get their legs. Get their legs. I was like, what? What? So
What, are you gonna like carry them outside?
I don't know. He just said, get them legs. It's like, what am I getting their legs for? So I ran over there. I was like, what are we doing? I was like, okay, kids, get me 2 chairs. I was like, what? Hey, what's going on? Oh, we're going to bring them back. Change the blood flow. I was like, what are we doing? But I really wanted to watch whatever was about to happen, right? So, they bring 2 chairs, and he puts their ankles, grabs their ankles, and I imitate what he do. We put their feet on a chair. So I was like, what exactly is this whole entire situation? Now, I don't find out what this is like almost 10 years later from a staff sergeant, but essentially, when someone's unconscious and it's not, you know, and there's not like blood being lost, or it might just be a brain rock, you can lift up their legs and you can send more blood to their brain because you've changed how hard the blood is flowing into the head, and it can actually wake up most people. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But again, I don't find this out too much later, but I'm telling you now. So they wake up, and Tony's like, oh man, hey, can I get some ice? Bobby just starts crying, right? Now, the parents dropped them off, but you know, most of them ain't gonna linger. They're gonna go do something, or they were gonna watch in the bleachers. There's like 15, 20 kids, something like that. There's only 6 parents in the bleachers. They're dying of laughter too, because they had a front row seat to that shit, right? I'm legit. I can't even be mad at them. So, what ends up happening is, we get the mice, and then Richard is like, "Hey, come into the office." I was like, "Okay." Boy, run, boy. It's like, okay, damn. So, he comes in there and he says, and he starts filing through some file cabinet. And I just like, so what are we looking for? Oh shit. It's like, oh shit, what? Hey, don't curse. I was like, oh, sorry. You never signed it, or I never had your parents sign it. What is it? You've never signed, and the parents haven't signed a waiver involving you.
Oh no. Oh no.
So I said, so is that bad? We can just get him to sign it now. I was like, this is extremely, extremely scary. It may not be bad, but it's scary. I was like, so what is it I'm not seeing? Well, almost any good dojo or any place where there's a contact sport or martial art being taught, everyone signs a waiver involving their children or themselves. They cannot sue the location or anybody who works there, and they cannot sue their student, whether they caused the injury intentionally or accidentally. It's almost like clouds being in the sky. If you got a dojo, you got one of these. So I was like, oh, well, I mean, I think when I was at my dojo, there was like verbal agreement that we recorded. It's essentially, it's the same thing, but we haven't even done that with you. Okay. Well, I can't sign a contract without parental supervision, or they have to sign it on my behalf. We can just like, I don't know, fax it or print it or email it to my mom or something, I guess, or my dad. It's like, no, we can't, because it has to be dated for the date that they signed it. So even if you signed it right now, which you are, by the way, or we're gonna have your parents do it, it's not gonna matter when it involves those two. Well, Tony's parents kind of sort of like, they don't hate him, but they're depressed that he's their kid. So I don't think they're really gonna be mad at me. I was never really worried about Tony. It's Bobby. Okay, well, what's so special about Bobby? Bobby's mom was like directly tied to an AG or a senator. And for the uninitiated, an AG is an attorney general. Essentially, one of the highest law enforcement positions you can get in any state, and also in the country if you get it for to represent the entire nation. Is a district attorney or an attorney general that she was directly connected to, right?
Oh, she gonna eat y'all alive.
No. He called up a lawyer. He sent over a fax copy. He helped me send him over a fax copy on the scanning machine, which I'm like, damn, never seen a dojo with a giant copy machine. And basically, he had a legal representative overlook it. He told Tony and Bobby that, they're not going to. They're not going to be coming to class for at least 48 hours. Keep ice on, the parts where you got hit, and go see a doctor, and don't come back till you got a doctor statement. I was like, oh, well, that's pretty nice of you, motherfucker. That's gonna buy us time. I was like, oh, well, that was smart of you, and nice of you. I was like, thank you, Mr. Pearson. I was like, okay, and lawyer came back and said, okay, you're in the clear as long as you say he is the equivalent of a student instructor. Because there was a loophole for it despite them not having any student instructors that summer, right? And I got off scot-free. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, I mean, this story wasn't all that funny. We're not done. Part 2. Speed forward to, no pun intended, I want to say close to almost a full 10 years later. Now, I don't know whatever happened to the women's self-defense thing, but apparently the YMCA dude and Richard were still, my old master and Richard were still friends. Now, my old dojo is closed down at this point, and the only thing I had taken in between that time was a bunch of sparring matches with my local homies, closed circuit stuff, and also I was taking Hapkido for a small time. I ended up only getting up to yellow in Hapkido. Didn't hate it, but my parents overloaded my schedule with shit I could do, and eventually it got weird because they were still supposed to be paying even though they technically pulled me up. They forgot to tell the instructors they were pulling me out because I had so much other stuff on my plate. And it was kind of awkward, but moving on. So I was like, hey, listen. So he calls a number. I was like, hey, listen, I remember doing that, but I don't remember like nobody from there. And he was like, okay, listen, look, these are the cell phones, right? Like, yeah. So he gave me pictures. He's like, oh, I remember you, So I go there. And I go to this new place he got, and it was an actual legitimate dojo. It's not like a rented out gymnasium on a temporary lease or a day-to-day lease. I was like, oh shit, bro, this is nice. And it was like not too far from the suburbs, not too far from the city, public transportation, easy access. I was like, bro, let's get it. So he was like, hey, listen, you were really good. I want to officially make you a YAI. I was like, I appreciate it, but I'm looking for legitimate work right now. I'm not on that summer school money stuff. I was like, no. You're gonna get YAI money. We're doing very well for ourselves. It was like, turns out his wife was rich. She just pumped money into the shit. Well, he got married later on, and his wife was rich, and she pumped money into the shit. Don't make a Wayne pun. Anyways, so he ends up. I end up getting there, and I was like blown away by the place, how clean it was, all this other stuff. And he lets me and him get to talking for a week. We spar for about 4 days. I beat him 3 times. He beat me 2 times, but I did not want to fight him. because it didn't really occur to me when, as a kid, when he gave me those little, sparring matches and 3-day training tests, he was holding back the whole time. One time, he hit me so hard, I flew 10 feet. And I don't mean like Dragon Ball shit, hyperbole. No, I went 10 feet backwards. Yes, TM3. Did you accidentally mute yourself? I can't hear you. I said go to push to talk, not mute yourself. There you go. Say something. Hello?
I have a mute on myself from Discord itself.
Yeah.
On my headphones, I was like, wait a second. I have the separate mute. Fuck. I've been talking and no one heard me.
Yeah. Well, if you still remember your questions, you can ask them now.
Earlier, I think I said on a scale of 1 to 10, how close was that class to karate? But then it already passed. So I was like, fuck, that wasn't going to get you. But then
-4.
And what else? Oh yeah, you really got knocked the fuck out. Like, holy shit. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. You punched you 10 feet.
Yeah, like a part I slightly bounced off the wall when I hit it. And he wasn't even sorry. He had this grin on his face like, I've been waiting to get back at you for some time. I was like, I didn't know you hated me. I don't hate you. I just don't like the idea of you winning against me. It's like, oh, so you just petty. That's not the word I would use, Mr. Pearson.
No one likes using it.
That's how you sound.
You just sound salty you lost.
Look, people have feelings. I was in man at that point. Anyways, so I was like, okay, so what's the scenario? I was like, listen, they basically bribed us to train these kids that they got now. They didn't go through any like severe trauma. Half of them are assholes. The other half are so fucking scared of everything that I think that they're going to have a heart attack if they throw a punch. And I straight up started laughing. Like, that is hilarious. You went from having kids who can't pay attention to, oh my God, I don't want to be here. I want to go home and look at Twitter. Like, that's just hilarious to me.
And that's what you do now.
I was like, okay, well, listen, how much is the job? Okay. Oh, yeah, you're going to get about $500 an hour, and you're going to be here 3 days a week. So I
500.
Yeah, and you're going to be here 3 days a week. So I did the math in my head of how much money I'm making a week. I was like, so yeah, I'll train those lovely children of these women who unfortunately have to learn the hard way the value of power, physically or self-defense and mental stability. I'll train these lovely children. It's like, yeah, you can joke all you want to, but there's a reason you're getting that much money. They suck. I was like,
it's like I'll make a man of you scene from Mulan. You gotta train them
all.
That's
basically what it was. I was basically whoever the trainer was, and at one point I even played the song in the background just to fuck with them. Because most of my students were girls, and they would bring up shit about how they don't think if they had muscles they were pretty, but we respect females who do all this other shit. And when they started yapping too much, I would literally just blare that shit. They had a Bluetooth sound system. I was in heaven.
They were in hell.
And
equally.
And anytime there was somebody who just talked a little too much, I would look at them, walk over to them, and you're the saddest bunch I've ever met. Especially you. It was fun. I had fun. Because the only time they would listen to me is when I cut their soul. But they're teenagers. Cutting their soul is like stepping on a landmine. And
fair.
To be fair, did I want to do it? Hell nah. But if you're going to talk to a girl right next to you who you don't know about boys and Korean boy bands and shit like this, I'm going to stick that girl on the other side of the fucking classroom. What would you expect me to do? I'm not here to be your friend, motherfucker. And I even told them, because I got the curse, and I was like, motherfucker, I'm not here to be your friend. So.
I mean, quite obviously.
So, I developed my little punishment system. It got approved by Richard, and I told him, hey, look, I'm not going to be training them on both staff shit, okay? I'm just not. I was like, yeah, well, I don't blame you. I honestly think they would accidentally kill themselves. And we started laughing at them while they were standing right next to each other. We didn't care. They sucked. So Jerry comes in.
They're never gonna do any class like this ever again. You scarred them for life.
No, I made a man out of them.
I mean, there are significantly worse ways to grow the fuck up. Significantly worse.
Yeah, all I did was say, you suck at what you're doing. That was it. I ain't going out here. I'm not beating the fuck out of them. I know what that'll look like, but I will trip you. But you have to not be paying attention, and you're here to pay attention. So I can't trip you if you're paying attention. That was the worst they got out of me. It was fun to do though. I ain't gonna lie.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
Bro, one time, I'm not even joking. One time, and it wasn't even like the big girl. It was like the possibly the smallest girl in there. I felt so bad that I was like, I'm not even gonna trip you. I'm gonna trip the girl next to you because she's more sturdy. She was just taller. She was still frail and lanky, but I just didn't wanna like hit her, but she always asking for it. I honestly get why she's here. She's one of those females who will say and do any fucked up shit she thinks she wants to, but she can't back up nothing because if she throws a punch, she could break her own hand. And that actually did happen. She threw a punch one time in the middle of a fight. She broke her own hand. So,
fucking Christ.
Like, bro, we actually had a nutritionist come talk to her at one point because she was just frail, but that mouth. So I was like, okay. So I tripped the girl she was talking to, right? She tries to grab her to save her, and then the girl on the right of him tries to grab him and save her. And this somehow ends with them creating a domino effect of that whole entire row of 7 people falling. I swear to God, I never laughed that hard again in my life. Oh my God.
When you living in a cartoon, people just domino effect fall over, okay?
No, but you this is the level of klutz and uncoordination I'm dealing with.
I truly question most of the time with Zach's stories how, like, the truthfulness of them, and then it's just like, you can't make this up. Like, you literally cannot make this up.
A third of the stories I've ever done,
Mr. Peabody.
the people who were in them are still around, not dead, and on my social media. So, yeah. But anyways, and it was just funny because it was like, oh no, I'll try to help you. But then at one point when it gets to like girl number 4, she wasn't paying attention and she just gets bumped on the shoulder by a girl bigger than her, and then she knocked out the other 3. I was like, that was fucking hilarious. And then here's the fucked up part. I was like, wait a minute. Why didn't none of y'all help them? Why didn't none of y'all help them get up? What I tell y'all about teamwork? I actually didn't tell them shit, but no one said anything. So I made them all do like 5 push-ups.
Because they probably knew they weren't paying attention, so they didn't know.
I didn't remember till the 4th push-up. Wait a minute. I didn't tell them shit about teamwork. Whoops.
Well, now you know. Now you know all about teamwork.
It works. If they never pay attention, it doesn't matter. You could just say say it.
I mean,
it doesn't matter if you're unsure.
It's not a good thing to do all the time, but he's totally right. So day 3, and Jerry shows up. I was like, okay, here come Mr. Pretty Boy. I knew the minute he came in, there's going to be at least 5 or 6 girls who just going to stare at him and giggle. And he's got his bag on, got a leather coat on, got some sunglasses on indoors, and he's holding a duffel bag over one shoulder. Like, I was like, okay, you just trying to show off. Okay. But Jerry was different. Not like, oh, he's not pretty anymore. I mean, Jerry got like skinnier, but it was a weird type of skinny, which is a weird statement to make. But I knew Jerry was thin. You know, I mean, I've hit Jerry before. You can tell how sturdy someone is 9 times out of 10 after you throw a punch at him, usually, especially if it's in the core of the body. So Jerry walks over to me while the class is going and just stares at me for like too long, like uncomfortably long, like close to a full minute. So I look at my class and I was like, hey, all of you go on break. Okay. So I'm like, you good?
What you about to do to Jerry, huh?
I just said, you good? And not in that, hey, you good? We got a problem. It's like, are you actually okay? It's like, when's the last time me and you went a few rounds? It was like, probably maybe 9-8 years ago. Me and Jerry bumped into each other once, in after I was done with the summer stuff. I was like, we need to fix that. It's like, no, we don't. But let me just say something real quick. So then I stop, and Jerry looks over to the left, and I look over to the right because, you know, we're facing each other, so different angles. No one fucking moved. So I was like, so I just yelled, go take a 15-minute break, or I'm gonna mess you up for 15 minutes. And they either went all the way to the corner of the room and started talking, or they went into, you know, the female locker room, what I like to call no man's land, right? It's like, look, Jerry.
No man's land.
I get that I was a little bit arrogant when I, you know, advanced as far as I did in the beginning. A little bit arrogant. Look, I'm trying to apologize, okay? If I made you, I don't know, feel like you were a lesser person just because I could, you know, kick a little bit better ass than you, it was wrong and it was stupid and I was young. Young people are allowed to make mistakes. That's how you know you're young. Okay? And you've become, I'm sure you've become a fine whatever you are. What the fuck does that mean, Pearson? It's like, well, I mean, look, it's very obvious you're a very pretty boy. You know, all the girls stare at you. And I heard you when you walked in. I knew something was different. Yo, you're wearing those Timberland high heel boot, sneaker boot hybrid things. Let me see if I can pull some of them up. Not those exact boots, but the type of shoe. Because it's going to be relevant later. Google. Sneaker.
Man can't even wear heels these days, I tell you.
Shut the fuck up.
What if I just want a couple extra feet, you know? Sometimes it's hard to be short out here, you know?
What high heels are you wearing that give you extra, like, whole feet?
Well, they're called platforms.
Thank you.
Those actually exist. If you put platform under any type of shoe, there's a version of it. Platform shoe, platform heel, platform sneaker, that they exist.
So just accept that you're short and move on with life.
Never. No, fuck 6'3". I don't need that shit.
I know you.
Like, imagine.
I know you ain't talking. You're literally the shortest person in the podcast.
Yeah, and my girlfriend's taller than me.
So you got a dummy mommy?
What?
A dummy mommy.
No.
This guy gets it.
No. I make her feel small. And that's the point.
That's what he likes to say.
We're gonna leave it at that, gentlemen.
It's okay. I wore my Chippewa boots that have like 2 inches of heel on them, and it completely. She did not like that. I was all of a sudden taller.
That's what I'm saying. When you put on them inches, they be like, "Whoo, man, this is a whole different kind of person."
Oh, no, she did not like it. It was like, oh, you're taller than me. Yay. It's like, oh, no, get back down where you belong.
You should have taken out your legs. No.
Get in between my tits where I left you. I swear to God, we could make a whole sitcom just out of his fucking love life. Anyways, so if you look at the...
Mine, yours are TM3s.
No, Witch King. Look at the channel, and you'll see that that's the type of... She was wearing something like... he was wearing something like that. So I was like... Pearson. What am I?
I just accidentally into the randomness chat, and I regret my decisions.
See, I told you not to go where meat sauce has been. Told you about that shit. I told everybody about that shit, actually. Anyway.
I regret my decisions.
Just be thankful you're not on her Instagram. So I was like, trans. Fuck, and this is a problem I still have. I will see a trans person, know they're trans, and I will say the opposite trans that they are. So I'll see a trans woman, and I'll say trans man, or I'll say a trans man, and I'll say trans woman. They think this shit's hilarious that I still do it, but I know this is a serious moment, and I don't know how it's gonna play out. So I'm trying really hard to remember what the name is, because I don't want Jerry, on top of thinking I'm an arrogant piece of shit or Kanye West at this point, a martial arts Kanye West, that I'm, I don't give enough of a shit about her to properly acknowledge or remember her label. When it's just it's a spoonerism. It's a human spoonerism. I just will say them backwards. So I was like trans, and his face starts contorting, and he did this like people's eyebrow shit. I was like, okay, like it's like he's waiting for me to fuck up. I was like, trans. And I was like, wait a minute, I know how to get out of this. Whichever one it is that you qualify for, right?
I mean, it's whatever your preference is.
The easiest cop out ever.
Yes, thank you. The easiest cop out ever. And guess who wasn't trying to get in trouble? Me. So that's what I said. And then he goes, okay. Okay, I got something for you. And I was like, Jerry, you and I both know that's some ominous bullshit. No, it's not bullshit. I was like, so it is ominous. It's very fucking ominous. But don't worry about it. Where's Richard? In the office. Okay. You still an instructor? Oh, I'm a lot of things, Pearson. It's like, so he's walking off. I was like, hey, you can say my name. It's like, and you can call me what I am. And I was like, oh shit. I said like he 3, 4 times. Like, oh, sorry, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And then I just hear, fuck you. So then from the opposite side of that hallway, Richard walks by. I was like, oh, so you met Jerry. Like, I see you two are getting along just like usual. I was like, can you like talk to her or him? Yeah, I don't know the situation anymore. And he just starts laughing, right? And I'm confused by it.
I'll never get over the line. So you met Jerry, huh? that will live on with me forever.
Well, yeah, I mean, he knows this isn't my first time meeting Jerry, but he knows it's been a very long time, right? So he starts laughing and he goes off, and then I turn around and he scared the fuck out of me. All the students were lined back up. I was like, okay, look, I don't even feel like being mad at y'all and yelling right now. I was like, so is she your ex-girlfriend? Like,
Lover's quarrel, I tell you.
It was this motherfucker Kelly who said, why is it almost every Kelly I meet is a pain in my ass? Anyways, so Kelly says it like, so then I just hear the whole class full of females, maybe 2 or 3 guys, make the one sound you never want to hear them say. All at once. And I was like, no, we were not a thing. We are not a thing. Reluctant love. So all of a sudden, I just see them start chatting in little circles and giggling and shit. I was like, this is not going to end well for me. I need to stem this at the top. Or stem this from the bottom. So I was like, hey, huddle up. Okay, this is what's going to happen. Shut the fuck up around Jerry. Okay? Jerry has a problem with me that is specifically between me and fucking her. Or what is now her. But back then it was him. Okay? Jerry was not someone I was ever like attracted to. I'm straight. Okay? The problem comes from me back in my younger days being a little bit arrogant about how I approach winning fights against people or sparring matches against people. Okay? I was a little bit, and then before I finish, I just hear conceited, arrogant. Were you like some like Vegeta type? Yeah, he must have been a prick.
Yeah, it's all coming together. It's all coming together.
Oh, I get it. Like the you now is the opposite of you in the past. So you were a punk bitch. It's like
you were just like us. One of us.
So I was like, hold the fuck up. Hold up. Who the fuck you talking to? Well, I mean, like, not the you right now. I mean, like, the old you. I was like, do not curse here if you are under 18. Yeah, motherfucker. I was like, you know what? I never hear anything from the guys, and you guys are always in the back. Why don't y'all come to the front for the... And I straight up dead ass paused. And I looked at this motherfucker without blinking. Bobby! Yeah. Hell yeah, you didn't recognize me this whole time? Yeah, I lost a lot of weight. How the fuck are you still in this class? Remember, I have not been here in 9 years. Like, it's been 10 years since I taught, but there's a difference between not teaching for 10 years and not honing your skill for 10 years. I was honing my shit still. But
he was in there for 10 years?
Yeah, and I stopped there 1 year after I had 1 year after I had stopped teaching there because one student it was a surprise to a student who wanted to see me for their birthday. It was one of my best students, love her to death. A little bit sad about what happened to her, but we're not going to discuss that at all. And I was like, "Oh, Mr. Pearson, I'm gonna tell you, man, hey, I'm really getting better at these angular uppercut. How the fuck are you still here, Bobby? They have an adult class." So then, Richard walks by, going back to his office after he got done talking to Jerry, and I just hear, "Oh, so you met Bobby?" It's like, "You knew he was here the whole time?" He's still walking away, and I just hear in a faint distance, "Yes, yes, yes." It's like, so then this what I like to call question Kelly. Not because she asks a lot of questions, but she'll say she always talks she always talks in a way that makes you think she's asking a question. Now, don't get me wrong, she was asking some questions, but sometimes she makes general statements and it just throws me for a loop. She's like, So was he here before? I was like, yes, that's kind of why it's fucking weird. Yeah, because aren't you like 22, 23 right now? Like, yeah. Who's the second oldest person here? How old are you? I'm 19. I'm like, okay, well, Julia, you're here on a technicality. You lost your state ID and you got to get a new one for the first time as an adult. So I get why you're here. Bobby, you know what? We don't have enough time in class to go over why you're still here. But you stay over here. Come from the back row. You stay over here. Oh, I don't want to go to the back row. Tina, you don't do anything that even is worthy of being in the front row. And all the class go, ooh. I was like, shut up, you bunch of ghosts. Get in formation. Fucking. So in the class, Jerry's leaning up against the door because I'm not going to lie. Jerry dressed cool and is really good at doing cool poses. I really don't want Jerry to hate me, but I can acknowledge you may be my enemy, but damn, you do cool shit. It's like Sephiroth. You know he's a bad guy, but he's still fucking cool.
With a lot of mommy issues.
I wouldn't say mommy issues, but that's another matter. So I was like, hey, listen. What the fuck happened? Also, why were you mumbling like Street Fighter video gamey type fight noises? Oh, well, I started using video games to help me not think about food and stuff. So I'll just, one day in school, I got into it with a guy. And when I won, I yelled Shoryuken. So you've actually won a fight now? Now I know it sounds really sarcastic and assholey, but if you knew this kid back in the day, that for him is like winning the lottery. Like winning $1 billion.
So losing to him is the ultimate embarrassment. And he beats you, and he said Shoryuken. So imagine you're getting beat by him, and then they say Shoryuken on top of your defeated body.
Yeah, so I was just like, okay. I was like, okay, so that doesn't tell me why you're in this class, man. Listen to me. I don't hate you. I'm not sure I ever truly respected you. I don't have to lie to you. I'm your fucking instructor, and I'm not here to be your friend. I missed when you would say that. Yeah, well, I'm saying it now. My point is, why are you in the children's class? Well, I mean, my mom still goes to the women's self-defense. She was thinking about opening up a potential chain or having shooting classes for females or geared towards females. I was like, huh. Well, I mean, I'm glad your mom found a life passion. but if you avoid answering my question one more time, I'm gonna punch you in the fucking throat. I've asked you 5 times over the course of 20 minutes because we was already at the tail end of the class when I gave him the break. Answer the question. So I get a lot of hatred when I go and try to train any place else because I still keep mumbling various, fight game noises at different volumes because you can't shut it off. Like, yeah, I was like, oh, damn. Why do you think you can't? Because if I stop, I'll kill myself with food again or try to kill myself with food. What do you mean again? So Jerry walks up, puts his very small and delicate feeling hand on my shoulder. And Jerry says, it got bad. He tried to do something stupid and, he got saved. And I talked to Richard and that's why he's here. But since he's short, a lot of them don't even really notice that he's as old as he is. It's like, hey, listen, Bobby. At one point, I was heavier than you. I was never bigger than you, but I was heavier than you. You can overcome this, but you might not be able to do it alone. Tell your mom, tell your dad, listen, can they help you get some therapy or talk to a psychologist? You might not be able to necessarily fix this, but at a bare minimum, it'll be easier for you to manage than try to just, wing it by yourself. It's always good to read some of an instruction manual instead of none. So Jerry looks at me and says, that should be on a shirt somewhere. I was like, thank you. By the way, you cooled off yet? You done being mad at me? It's like, and then Jerry just starts laughing. So, and walks off. And I was like, okay, Bobby, look, just go home, do the shit I told you, practice your drills at home. You have a test in 2 days. So, I'm getting ready to go. I pass up Richard's office. And I was like, so are you two planning something? I was like, I'm not planning anything, but Jerry is obviously up to something. I was like, hey, listen, whatever happens, not in the locker room. Don't you two do anything in my locker room, and you better clean it up. I was like, okay. I mean, we're not going to beat each other to death. That's not what I meant. It's like, no, I thought that was exactly what you meant. So then he starts laughing on top of his lungs. It's like, all right, see you in a few days, Pearson. I was like, yeah. So I get out the shower, and I'm in my towel, and I'm sitting on the bleacher, and I hear those unusual footsteps. Here come Mrs. Jerry in them sneaker boots. So he looks at me, I look at him, and I hate to say it, but it was kind of like the Weird Al situation.
That's what I was totally thinking.
I would go back to doing something I was doing for like 15 seconds, and he looks at me, and I stop and look at him, go back doing what I was doing 15 seconds, like, hey, I'm getting ready to change, so I don't really want you staring at me. Like you got something worth looking at. Who the fuck you talking to? I was like, not here. You heard what Richard said. Yeah. So you two been hanging out this whole time, or you just been working under him? I don't really know. But even he knows you have some type of issue with me. What is your problem? Okay? I said I'm sorry. It was wrong. Winning wasn't wrong. I was like, no. But I approached it in the most dickish way possible. And it was arrogant and stupid, like I came out of a video game. And I'm sorry, okay? You're not even a bad fighter. In fact, fighting you, from what I can remember, was scary. It was scary when we did that little tussle 8 years ago. And it was scary when I first met you, okay? I didn't win by a wide margin. I won by the skin of my teeth. Even though it was 0 and 4, it didn't matter. They weren't, I didn't get them easy. And then the motherfucker starts walking toward me, and I was like, okay, it's go time. Let me tighten up my towel, and kisses me.
I fucking knew it. The lover's quarrel. I fucking knew it. Couldn't escape it.
So I'm sitting there, so I'm frozen, like catatonically so. Like, my brain is trying to process what the fuck just happened.
Light stroke.
So she stops, hand still around my collarbone, shoulder blade. Well, just, you know, hand still around my neck, but not in that choky way. And I'm just like, nothing comes out. I know my brain's functioning. I know my heart's functioning. My eyes are functioning, but nothing is working in sync. So Jerry says, get dressed, be outside, I'm gonna fuck you up. In like a sexy way in my ear. So
you dog, you.
Oh,
me,
bro, this
I
is
ain't do
good steamy. Good steamy.
So
I mean, there's gonna be some kind of ass beating going on. Not sure which kind, but something's about to happen.
So
I'm
getting dressed very slowly. I can barely think straight to tie my shoes. My heart's beating a mile a minute. It's like, what the fuck just happened? What is gonna happen? Where did this come from? Like, and I'm asking those questions in a loop. Like the answers are magically gonna just plop down in front of my face. So I get outside and I go to the parking lot because whatever happens, I'm not about to fuck with Jerry right now. I need to process shit, right? So I'm going to the parking lot. I don't have a car, but the bus stop is on the other side of the parking lot. And then I start walking. I calm down a little bit, and I hear beep. It's like it was Jerry in the car laughing her ass off, and I'm just like, "Hey, you're coming with me." And she pulls out, reaches out her side door, and starts trying to rub my ass. Like, no. It was like, so I lean in the car with the window. I'm like, Jerry, listen to me. I am straight, okay? So Richard starts walking up the parking lot. Shit, Richard's coming. Look, I'm not trying to escalate this, okay? I got this job. This is like my second week, okay? I'm not here often. You're not even gonna see me that much. I was like, what do you mean you're straight? It's like, I'm straight, Jerry. Pearson. What do you mean you're straight? So then Richard starts picking up speed with a smile on his face. Richard is one of those people who loves the suffering of his students, whether it's awkward or pain. So I was like, no, Richard's coming. Look, I'm gonna get in the car. Get in the front seat. Hell nah. So I get in the back and I was like, look, just go over to that White Castle's. No, he might follow us. I got an idea. I was like, okay. My dumb ass. So I just tell Jerry in like a very nice, polite way while we're driving, Jerry, this is how I feel about you. However, these feelings do not correlate to pee-pee's touching. Okay? My feelings were never of any form of a sensual nature. I was like, so this is why Richard wouldn't stop laughing and said, don't do anything in the locker room. It's like, yeah, he thought we was definitely going to beat each other's ass. No, that's not what he thought. And he realized it before I ever learned it. I don't know why I didn't figure it out. But then again, you know, he never really looked at me. It's like, what does that mean? So she pulls up under this bridge. I forgot where it was, right? Cuts the lights off. The front lights, turns on the lights in her SUV on. She lets the front seat down on my back. The passenger seat all the way down. I didn't see it coming. It's like, hold on. She was like, hold on, I gotta get something out the glove compartment. Flipped the little button and got me buried in the back. I barely had time to get the seatbelt off, but it kind of didn't matter because, you know, She crawled her ass right over there, right? Takes off her coat, unbuttons her shirt. Was like, oh, congratulations on your recent installation. It's like, Pearson, I was never a boy. So then all of a sudden, everything made sense. Everything made sense.
Wait a fucking second.
I never knew
wait,
that
hold
Jerry
on.
was a woman the whole fucking time. And then when I got back, Richard realized immediately I thought Jerry was a boy. But that's not where it got really funny. He knew Jerry had some like burning desire for me, whether it's to fight me or fuck me. Apparently it's both. I learned that later, but we're not going to get into that here.
I think that's exactly what we need to get into.
Anyways, so I was like, no, you used to be a boy. You're trans. Oh my God, dummy. So she took my left hand because, you know, my right hand was all pinned and shit. And let me feel her cooch. Not over the pants, under the pants. I was like, but Jerry is a boy. No, Jerry isn't. Jerry was never a boy. And then she chops me in the throat. And I'm like, why the fuck you just hit me? Because I like pissing you off. I was like, do you want to fight me? I was like, well, yeah, but that doesn't mean I still don't want you. It's like, so I don't think of anything. There's a long pause. And she's like, are you like spacing out again? I was slowly moving my hand towards the door latch so I could open it and get the fuck out. Because I'm still pinned, right? And she realized it. And when the door opened, now she's like pulling me by the neck, got me in a headlock. And then she's like, you know, I know your weaknesses, right? I was like, ain't no way in fuck you know my weaknesses. I ain't seen you in forever. And I was like, and she just starts laughing. And she immediately went after my neck, which is, you know, my actual weakness. One of my few physical weaknesses. So I was like, oh, fuck. Great. Now my boner is about to get caught on this damn seat. It's like, so I'm like, yes. So I'm just like trying to get out the car. I got one foot out, but Jerry is like face sucking me and also like holding on to the side of my face, but she got claws. So like I'm slowly getting scratched and peeled skin and shit. And then all of a sudden I get loose. And she's like, you're going to get back in this car. Like, no, the fuck I'm not. Because, okay, well, you don't know where you are. And if you don't, you're going to have to explain all those marks on you tomorrow. And I think your story's going to be different from mine. So I reminded her, I was like, hey, Jerry, this is Chicago. All I need is a train. All I need is a bus. And to ask the driver what stop is going to get me closest to an L station or a bus that goes there. And then I slammed the door, ran out the opposite side of the one-way little bridge we were under. And I think she either drove off really fast or she tried to drive to the other side of this, wherever the street was, until she can like comb the area for me. I don't fucking know. But I got away from there. And I was trying to process this. Jerry was a girl the whole time. Just saying it in my head for like, I think 20 minutes. And trying to calm my dick down. But, you know, I didn't have ice at the time. So I just had to like hide the boner. So that annoying, painful issue when you got to hide a boner for like an extended period of time. Hated that. I think we all do.
You should have stayed with her, bro. You should have stayed in the car. You should have stayed.
No. Look,
I don't know why you ran away.
Did I not discuss that I don't put my dick in crazy intentionally? What do you think I meant by that? That wasn't a joke.
You're very clearly missing out.
No, I wasn't. So,
I want the crazy. Give me the crazy.
Yeah, you want anything, you thirsty. Anyways, So, I was just like, yo, called up all my old homies, like my YMCL friends, because I still know some of them, and I told them about, because they knew about Jerry and the Jerry saga. I wouldn't really call it a saga. There's too many time gaps. And it was like, was Jerry a girl? I was like, what do you mean was? Oh man, is Jerry dead? It's like, no, I saw Jerry last week. What? How's she doing? I was like, did everyone fucking know Jerry was a girl? So now, and like 9 a.m. the next day, I get a text. And all it says is, what you doing right now? It's like, who is this? Pearson. What are you doing right now?
It's Jerry.
No, a lot of people, even before the military, called me Pearson. That was my actual instructor name. It wasn't Master Pearson. It was just Pearson. It was Instructor Pearson. So it was just Pearson. So I was like, who is this? Who else call you Pearson? 20 other people. But this is Jerry. And then sends me a picture of her titties and says, what you think? I was like, see, this is why I hate crazy girls. It's not that they're crazy. I mean, yeah, everyone hates dealing with them. It's that I hate the crazy ones who don't realize when they're doing something crazy. They terrify me. So I was like, hey, listen, I don't think we can anything together at any point in time. It was like, oh shit, well, there's my fuck up and I'm about to fix it. I was like, I haven't seen you in 5 years. So my whole timeline of events was just fucked up and I didn't realize it till just now. But yeah, everything I said still happened, but it wasn't 10-year time gaps. It was more like 3, 4. But no, 5, 6, sorry. Because if it was 10 years from when I first met Jerry, that would have meant this happened while I was simultaneously still fucking around in the military. So yeah, nah. This happened when I was 22 or 23. So yeah, it wasn't 10 years ago. Well, it was 10 years ago from today, but for the story, it wasn't 10-year time gap. Anyways, I fucked up the time. Moral of the story. So I was like, listen, hey, so you've decided to make me develop new feelings for you that I didn't want to have. It's like, she sent me a GIF animation of somebody going, no, really? And I was like, I can't even be mad. That was very accurate meme. She says, thank you. I was like, listen, I'm not gonna be around that often. I was like, well, I can still come see you. I have a car. I was like, no, Jerry, listen. I might not even be in this state in like the next 6-7 months. Where you moving? Wherever Uncle Sam tells me. You're in the army? He's like, no, but I'm going to be. And well, 9 months of sexual torture later, I went into the military and I haven't heard from Jerry since. So, yeah.
Damn.
Do you feel like you missed your shot?
What the fuck? I'm not the one.
Obviously, he doesn't care, but I mean,
Jerry missed the shot, not me.
I mean,
they were close. They were close, but they almost had you.
Yeah, they did.
It could have been good. It's a little more communication. Damn.
Fuck you.
Damn, and they knew all your weak spots too. It's a little more communication. It's a little more
I knew
communication.
your weak spots in all the ways.
So
It could have been a power couple.
Powerful couple, maybe. So the next day, or the next 2 days later, I'm giving tests. Bobby passes test, and Jerry walks in, and all the girls staring at her. And I just go, hey, ladies, y'all know Jerry is female, correct? It's like, who didn't know that? It's like, wait, were you trying to make a joke?
You didn't.
Only you?
Yes. And I realized how easily they figured it out.
And she still wanted to sleep with you.
Because Jerry uses the female locker room. I was like, well, wait a minute. I've never seen Jerry in the male locker room. But yeah, this is me piecing shit together still. And I just don't say shit, because here's how the room works. There's the front entrance, but the office and the locker rooms are all on the opposite side of the room, which is where the instruction is facing. So theoretically, Richard can always hear the instructions being given from his office if his door is open. Pretty efficient layout, right? So I was like, all right, guys, practice your drills. We're going to do knee drills. And then after that, we're going to do a little cardio. I know they hate doing that, but it's a good way to get away from Jerry, because if I have people running around the room, I can pretend I'm chasing them, which is something that we do. So Jerry walks up to me while they're doing their knee drills, and I don't say anything. I don't make eye contact. I don't even look at her. I just look at my class. Everyone dead ass stops while I'm looking at them. Some people even stop while they're on one leg with their knee up. I was like, what the fuck are y'all doing? You can't speak to me? Shit. Good evening, Jerry. Well, we would have had a better evening, and I could have gave you some more marks on your face, bitch. And walks off, and the whole class goes, and then I just hear from the back, Richard go, ha! Ha ha! I fucking knew it.
Richard my favorite character.
I doesn't even care. He's just chilled out in the back, just like, I want to watch this happen.
I love it.
Yeah, and then and then the end. That's the end of the story.
And Jerry, if you're out there, get this man. He still.
Shut the fuck up.
He still wants you. He's still thinking about it.
He misses you. He knows he made a mistake.
Just go for his weak spot again.
I just like.
I mean, bro, you thought she was a boy and was all kinds of weird, and she still wanted you. Like,
I don't know why you think I won't edit that shit out, but okay.
I don't care. I'm saying that to you. I don't care what the audience hears this one. I'm saying that to you. If that's right, we can edit this. I can say some fucked up shit right now, and it's just gonna not be part of this.
Damn.
Anyways,
I feel bad for Jerry.
Why?
That is.
It
all that time.
Win situation.
I could swear, if you would have knew they were female, things would have been so much different.
Not really. I would have just run from her instead of sparring with her, and I don't know. She would have got mad and maybe called me a pussy, and I would have got left alone faster.
Zach really does have a strict no crazy policy, which I mean, granted, you're getting a lot less cop phone calls to your house, but you're having a lot less fun in life.
We'll agree to disagree. That being said, I didn't want to hate Jerry, and I said it multiple times in the story, like, Jerry, listen, I don't really want to be your enemy. I kind of think it would be cool if we were rivals or something, but Jerry had this I want to fight and fuck you vibe going on that I was never actually into, because here's how I look at it. If we do something during sex and you like it and I don't like it and it's being done to me, I'm going to say ease up off of it, or maybe this will be a special occasion situation. No. Jerry literally wants to claw, scratch, bite me, make me bleed while fucking me. I know, because that was one of what the text messages said. I am not trying to look like I'm getting my ass beat in domestic violence every time I would be hanging out with her. Okay.
Like, damn, bro, what happened to your eye? Nothing.
Yes.
Bro,
Nothing
you know
happened.
you were leaving like 6 months later. You knew you were leaving. So like,
No, this is even before that. This is before I even get a recruiter. I just know I wasn't gonna be there. And I didn't block Jerry's number per se, but I set her ass to
That's your
mute.
cue, Jerry. That's your cue.
And I told Richard, hey, let Jerry know I'm not like ignoring her or anything. But you know, Uncle Sam punched the ticket. It's like, oh yeah, I remember you telling me about that. And you know, at this point, I hadn't been in that dojo in God knows how long, but that was what the situation was, right? Me and Richard are just social with each other, and when I bring him up, here's what I find kind of weird. He still gets surprised when people just know his last name. I was like, bro, no. I have friends that are mixes of completely normal and mundane people, rich people, animal people, pop culture enthusiast people, all this other shit. If you come around me, somebody in that room likes Batman, they're going to say, oh, like the Flying Graysons. This just going to happen. But,
Right?
yeah. So when I get holiday block leave, which is a special time of year for boot campers where they let you come home temporarily for like a 14-day or 10-day vacation. And I came home, but I took Jerry off mute and I just looked at the messages. I thought there'd be a shit ton or, you know, more sexy pics. I ain't gonna fucking lie. I was half right. So she left me a message stating, does this count as an epilogue? I guess this would be an epilogue. She left a message saying, I guess I just showed up too late this time. I always lose to you. And then she congratulated me for joining the military and gave me a bunch of tit and ass pics. And I did not respond. The end.